Oh, sorry. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of The Least Favorite. I'm your girl, Natalie, and today I am with Jilly. Jilly is I'm going to say, event coordinator for Bike Life, the Bike Life movement. And Jilly, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited about this.
Me too.
So I got introduced to you, I don't even know if you know how, but it was through my friend Brian that I was telling you about. And I remember it was during the pandemic. I was going through a lot of shit, as we all were.
Right.
So he was like, yo, just come out and ride with me. I'm like, yo, I learned how to ride a bike when I was 25. I did not know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, yo, I'm not a good rider. Like, I can't do this. He was like, yo, just come. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to bring you around my friends. I'm going to take you to bike, like the ride outs and things like that. And I was like, all right, fine. So I learned some stuff with him. And that shit was really hard. Like, I have to give it up to you because he put me onto, he was like, you gotta see, like, there's a whole women movement of bike riders. And I'm like, really? I'm like, I'm always just seeing a whole bunch of guys.
That part.
So he told me to check out your page, and I saw you were doing your wheelies. You were practicing. You were recording your journey, like how you were learning how to ride and pick up your bike, and you would fall. You would even show how you would fall. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, how can she do this? And then you were riding for blocks. Like, you were just going, and it was, like, really inspiring. But what really drew me to you was, like, you would have, like, your videos of just talking to the camera. And you were super, like, motivational. And I was like, oh, this girl is different. Like, your mindset, not a lot of people have it.
I appreciate
And I feel
that.
like I really just, like, gravitated to that. And I just kept watching you. Low-key, just kept watching you. And then I started the podcast, and that's when I stopped writing. Because I was like, you know what? This is my passion. This is what I want to do. But every time, like, as I'm trying to, like, okay, I want to start doing more. Like, I want to highlight other people's voices. I want to, like, uplift other people's voices. There's other people making a difference, and I should be showing it. You came to my mind. And I was like, but I got to wait till the right weather because I want to get her writing. I want to, like, really talk to you. So, again, thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, of course. So I kind of want to start with you. Like, how did you get into bike riding or, like, I guess, bike life?
So bike riding, my mom. My mom's had me on rollerblades. She bought me my first mountain bike when I was, like, in 3rd grade. I used to live uptown, so we would ride Central Park together or rollerblade Central Park together. And it's cute now and memories that I appreciate, but at the time I hated it.
Why?
Because those hills in Central Park
are
brutal.
Girl, the hills made me be like, I would walk my bike. I do not have the stamina.
Or even if I had my rollerblades, I'd walk in the grass up the hill type thing. Yep. So I hated it, but it was bonding time for my mom. And now being older, I can understand why she loved being on wheels. Like, it's so freeing and everything. And, like, as far as bike life, my boyfriend, he introduced me to, like, I consider them family now.
Yeah.
I spend so much time with these guys and girls. But the guys from the community, and at first I started riding with them in a smaller pack around, kind of like training, I guess you could say. And then with that same group, I went to my first ride out, and, like, I fell in love. I started out shooting.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And then like the guys that I'm around, they're always practicing. They're always leveling up. So seeing the way that they move on the bikes, it's like the way you're inspired by me, I'm inspired watching them, like the shit they could do. And for me, it's like they dancing, you know? So once I'm around all the time, it's like, yo, I want to learn to do this.
Yeah.
And then I started practicing, and from there.
Oh my God. What was your first ride out like? What was that experience?
It was.
Were you like intimidated
a little bit? Yeah, kind of, because, well, not really. I was intimidated because I didn't know what to expect, but I came in with a group, so I felt comfortable, and it wasn't too scary, I guess you could say. But yeah, it was. I think I was more anxious than intimidated. I think that's a good word. Anxious. Like, excited to ride and see what this is about type thing.
And you were able to, like, keep up and, like, okay, good.
The adrenaline, like, riding by myself, I'm a slow rider. But when you're in a pack,
you got to keep up.
It's not even that, like, you have to, but the energy of everyone kind of, it, like, pulls you. So you don't even feel like, oh, I'm so tired already. Like, you're just pushing through it.
Yeah.
It's dope.
How do you feel like being part of this community has changed you personally?
My confidence, I feel like, has grown a lot. My determination, just, you've seen the process of me learning to wheelie, and this whole process has shown me whatever I put my mind to, I can accomplish.
Yeah.
And even as far as like getting clear on my goals and what I want out of bike life and what I'm trying to do and the companies that I'm trying to tap in with to be able to give back, getting it on paper and not being afraid to ask, to write that proposal, to take a chance, you know what I'm saying? Because 80% of the time I got yeses, you know what I'm saying? So not being afraid to ask, a closed mouth doesn't get fed, my confidence and just the determination when I have my mindset on something that I could make it happen.
Yeah. I want to ask you too, like a little bit, where did your like mindset come from? Because for me, like I went through a lot of like my younger years, like battling depression. And so my outlook on life was just always very negative.
Right.
I had to read a lot of books, pray a lot. Like I had to really do a lot of work on my mental health to get to a point where I can be like, all right, like I can help myself through things, you know, and I can see things and see the positive out of it. How did you become that way too?
Life, honestly, it's hard to pinpoint where, but like you reading a lot of personal development books, getting a new perspective, because like I was more around my dad's family, Spanish, I'm Puerto Rican and Black.
Okay.
A lot of the gossiping and the talking about people, and when I would come around, it's like, not necessarily when I would come around, but you know how families sometimes, they put their kids against each other, and it's always a competition regardless. So I've always been kind of like in a shell in my head, and then not for nothing, it was a network marketing company that introduced me to like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I think was one of the first personal development books I read. And then from there, once I knew personal development,
that was it.
They got
That's how I feel,
right? And then the spirituality, like I was in Catholic school my whole life. But I find myself like, I don't need to go to church to connect with God.
Right.
So I have a lot of books about spirituality and like, I guess you could say witchcraft books, things like that, that just open your mind to nature and the fact that everything around us is energy, and energy is what continues to grow, right?
Yeah.
So when I've suffered through depression, I've suffered through a lot of loss, but like, in order to pull yourself out of that darkness where it feels like you're swimming and you don't know where the surface is, you have to like create your own light in a way to just have that little flashlight where you can see in front of you and just push through a little bit at a time, you know what I'm saying?
And it just keeps growing.
And it's practice every day. Like even now, I'm 36 years old, I've been reading my personal development books for a few years now. It's still daily, I'm fighting my demons, daily trying to look at the positive, because I be home in bed days at a time, mad at the world and mad at myself because I'm not productive or whatever the case may be. But then it's like, yo, you have to rest. You have to recharge. Like, but it's work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. And I think that's a misconception, because people feel like, oh, I read a book, I'm good.
That part.
I'm ready to go. And it's like, no.
There's no destination.
No, it's the same as your physical health. So when you let that fucking go to the wayside, what do you think is going to happen to your mental health if you don't work on it?
That part.
And that's what people don't got.
That part.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, what are some opportunities you've gotten being part of this movement? Because you said you had a manager. So I don't even think people realize like the opportunities that can come from, like, you know what I mean?
I will lead Vogue last year.
You what?
I will lead through Vogue's fashion show.
No way.
Yes.
What? That's amazing.
That's my biggest accomplishment that I'm so proud of.
Wow, congrats. That's fucking amazing. How did that happen?
They had a casting, and one of the writers in the community, Race Life, he sent me the casting. I reached out to the girls, sent my stuff. I think a lot of people from the community, they submit for that, and like afterwards the casting director was telling us Anna Wintour sat there with y'all stuff and flipped through and was like, and I don't know if you've seen The Devil Wears Prada, but that's one of my favorites.
Yes, I love that movie.
Feel good movie. If I'm depressed, I'll watch it to feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yo, I was on cloud 9.
Holy shit.
9, yeah.
What was that like? You gotta walk me through it now. Like, did you have to prepare?
We had 3 days of rehearsal.
Okay.
The most challenging part for me was wheeling on cobblestone. And then the second day of rehearsal, it was actually raining the whole time. So we was outside in the rain.
Rehearsing.
Yep.
Oh shit, they couldn't
doing the
reschedule?
walkthroughs.
Damn.
They was not having it. But they had the tent set up. They had the snacks for us. They took care of us, it was a great experience. And then the day of, it was like so much energy. And then all the I didn't realize how many celebrities would be there.
God.
And I'm so glad I didn't realize till after.
Yeah.
Because I would have been so much more nervous. Yeah. But like, I got to take a picture, I think, with Kendall Jenner.
Oh, Kendall Jenner, nice.
She posted up it was me and a couple of the guys from the community, which was also beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, riding bikes, Vogue appreciating that. I think they wrote an article about how this was supposed to represent New York City, and the fact that Anna Wintour and Vogue are acknowledging bike life is that's so huge. Amazing.
That's huge, because you would never think we would even be on their radar with anything we do.
Hell yeah.
And you know, that's something that I feel like, I mean, I know back then, or maybe not now, but there are misconceptions, like people who do that, they're a certain type of person. Definitely. So it's like, you know, Vogue is such a high-level magazine that it's like, you would think they would be like, oh, no, we can't have, like, those type of people. Right. You know? So I think that's amazing.
That part. That whole part.
Holy shit.
Breaking the stigma.
Holy shit.
And that's just up there. Like, I've gotten a lot of collaborations. As a community, we've collaborated with Nike, we've collaborated with Canon. Individually, like with me and Curly, we've collaborated with Girls Only. We did a little collab with Supreme. They didn't really use the content, but we still got like the bike lights. They still paid us. We're both sponsored by GT. So I just came back from Vegas at the end of April. They paid for my flight, paid for the hotel. Amazing. I was out there for a shoot and a ride out to represent their brand. Amazing. So it's like there's so many opportunities, but something that I would want anybody who's on a bike to take away. Don't focus so much on brand sponsorship. Focus on who you are, what you want to be known for, what you want to represent, because that's what brands are looking for. There's so many kids that, I want to be sponsored. I want to be sponsored to get free stuff or whatever the case may be. What's your vision for yourself beyond bike life? What value are you going to bring to these companies? Because there's a million of us, and we're disposable. So you have to show what makes you indisposable.
Yeah. When did that click for you? Because a lot of people, I don't think they know how to even, how they come to that conclusion.
I think reaching out for these ride-outs and communicating with the companies, and then trial and error. The first company I was sponsored by, I had a vision for myself, and they were like, yeah, we'll support whatever you want to do. But when it came down to actually following through on my end, they kind of fell through. But then, like GT, since they tapped in with me, they tapped in because of the community work I was doing initially. They supported, I did a mental health ride out to raise awareness. I lost my brother to suicide. Wow. And he was 20 years old, and the demographic is 16, well, not even, 12 to maybe, I feel like bike life is huge, but when the BMX stunt life, it's young kids. It's the same demographic that the suicide rates are increasing. So with them tapping in, they offered me this power performance to raffle off to raise money. I got the door to collaborate with us, so we gave the money to the door. The kids now know there's a place that has mental health resources, but also now they have GED programs, they got after school programs, so stuff to keep you out of trouble, stuff to keep you distracted, because a lot of times when we're dealing with our issues, we're alone, we're isolated. And we need the community to support us, but then it's that stigma. You come around people and you're venting what you're going through, you gotta worry about when you get up, are they gonna run and talk about you? Or they're gonna tell you, oh, man up. Like, we need to be more supportive and compassionate, and like, if anything, that's all I could hope to model for people, so that way we could play that kindness forward.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel like you balance everything you got going on? Plus, you're a mom. And that's a full-time job in itself.
I got a boyfriend.
You got a boyfriend.
That's another
full-time job, because relationships are full-time jobs
that
too.
Part, working, honestly, I just do it. Like, and I'm a Gemini, so it's like the chaos. I work.
Oh my God, you sound like my sister. She's the same way. She's a Gemini too.
And it stresses me the fuck out. Don't get me wrong. I'll be losing my shit sometimes, but you work through it. Like, when you have a vision and you want stuff to come to life, you're willing to put in whatever it takes.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like, I guess, what are some other misconceptions you've gotten, or like stereotypes that people try to like box you in as a woman being part of the bike life movement?
As a woman?
Yeah.
I feel like they've kind of shown a lot of love, and they give us the respect for the work we put in, because like you have girls that ride just to get attention and it's a male-dominated sport or whatever, but we're really out here practicing. We're really out here working. When we're with the guys, you see them going back and forth. You see us doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I think competition, people try to make it us go against each other as women, but it's like, bro, we're practicing together. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Yeah, I think it's just that. Yeah. Because even like when we started practicing, it's like, oh, the whole city's watching. Yeah. It's that pressure. Or we had somebody come down and, oh, I got a girl that I'm teaching to Willie. And it's like, okay, you came down here to tell us that for what? Why? Like, what about give us tips? Yeah. But on the contrary, majority of the support is people showing love. Yeah. It's just, you got, you know, people, I feel like those are men that are threatened by somebody that's doing the same thing because they possibly could do it better.
Yes, and when it's a woman doing
that
it,
part,
they hate it. They hate it. Oh my God. How do you feel like you incorporate, how do you incorporate cycling into your routine? And then how do you feel like it contributes to your mental health?
Riding is my therapy. I say that all the time. I ride everywhere. In the winter, in the snow, in the rain. I ride to work. I work on 34th Street. So I live in the Lower East Side. It's an easy commute. If I'm not on my e-bike, I'm on my pedal bike. And I could be stressed out in the morning, pissed off at the world. I don't want to get up. But the minute I'm on my bike riding with my music on, it's like a little meditative session before I start my day. So like every day I'm riding. Yeah. Can you tell me about the first time you actually lifted your bike up? So like, and you actually like wheeled for like a long period of time? See, there's levels. So I could tell you the first time I popped it up, how excited I was. Then it's like, all right, you pop it up and now you get a pedaling. Because you keeping it up a little bit.
Was that a quick, like what, no?
It took me like a good year to master getting my wheel up with a couple pedals. Okay. Then another year to actually keep my wheel up for like a couple blocks. Okay. But you got people that do that shit in a month, couple months and everything.
I'm sure you were frustrated.
Definitely. Not even frustrated, just like, yo, I did this today. I can't wait till I'm cutting up. Yes. It was always like excitement to get to the next level. The frustration came when I would get hurt or like the setbacks.
You ever got hurt really, really bad or no?
Not where I was hospitalized, but I think my worst fall was trying to pop it up. I have it on Instagram, and I had the handlebars turned. So when it came down, it hit like here. Ooh. I was sore for like a good 2 weeks. At least nothing broke. That part. I haven't had no serious injuries on a bike.
You have a son, right?
Yeah.
Does your son ride too?
He used to ride a lot more. Now he's at the age where he wants to do his own thing and be with his friends. So I let him kind of do his thing, and I don't want to force it on him the way my mom forced it on me. I want him to like riding with me, but he's always on my pegs. So if we gotta run errands, he's always with me on the bike.
Is there anything else that you wanna, I'm gonna ask you one more question, but is there anything else that you want people to know about this community?
I think we get I don't know what the word is, we get a rep, right? But I don't think people understand the beauty of bike life because you have so many kids, so many adults from different demographics, different communities, different neighborhoods. You even have people in different gangs that once they're on that bike,
it's squash. Everything's on pause.
That part. And it's so beautiful. Like all during COVID, I saw the bike life community more than I saw my family. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And like to see a lot of these kids that are turning into young men, when I came on the scene, they were like 13, 14, to see their growth. And like, I pray over everybody just because I want everyone to achieve like whatever it is that you're passionate about. There's more to life than the block. There's more to life, and the beauty of bike life, it gets you all out your neighborhood. Even if like in New York City, personally, I haven't explored and seen as much as I have on my bike in this past 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah. Even me, because I stay stuck in my bubble. Always. So even when I was riding through the city. It was during the pandemic, so you were able to ride freely. And I was like, wow, I would have never came here or done any of this if I wasn't on my bike.
Yep.
I feel like I want to get back on it now. Just talking.
You should. Like, it don't have to be every day thing.
Just like a cruising thing.
Yeah. And then we do have the ladies that we do our own thing, so you can definitely pop out with us.
I think I would feel more comfortable with like more women around me, because the men, it can be it's a bit like much.
Because they don't know how to act when it's a pretty girl. Like, I feel you. Like, it is what it is.
Like, oh my God.
And you know what's crazy? It's just New York, because I've been to Vegas, LA, like the West Coast with girls on bikes. Like, you have the families outside on bikes, the moms with the little kids, or the thing that goes on the back with the kid in the back. Like, it's so beautiful, and I hope New York could come to that point, or at least just have more ladies out.
Do you feel like it's because it's easier? Is it easier to ride out there, just like in terms of like traffic and things like that?
I don't think so, because even still, they gotta like drive to the meetup spots and everything, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But I just think that's what the culture is out there.
The weather's nicer too.
That part.
So they can really do it year round. Like, you're determined because you still do it in the wintertime. But a lot of people, I mean, I don't know.
I feel you, because I hate. I'm not going out in the winter. I'm not doing nothing, but I'll be on my bike riding to work. You know what I'm saying?
Our weather's so unpredictable here.
And to avoid the trains.
Yes.
Because not for nothing, it's like, I'd rather.
And you save money too. You're not paying for a Metro card. You have a car though, right?
No.
You don't have a car. Yeah, you don't really need it. You ride everywhere.
And in the city, like all this traffic everywhere, riding gets me anxious sometimes with the aggressive drivers. I can imagine being in a car stuck in traffic.
It's the worst.
I can imagine.
It is the fucking
Trust
worst.
me.
I do want to ask us today, we're going to follow you around. Can you talk a little bit about the event that you coordinated for today?
Definitely. So I'm helping out James Mooney, who is also like a great photographer in the community. He's been working on this since last year. We've been out here to East New York trying to get permits last year. Almost had it come to life for them to like pull the rug right underneath us the last minute. So today, finally choose the right grip. We are riding through Brooklyn. I forget where their endpoint is at, but we have food, we're having raffles and competitions, giving stuff away. The whole purpose is June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. So we're riding to bring awareness, to choose the right grip. We don't need a gun. Pick up a basketball, pick up the grip of a bike, stay out of, like, it keeps you out of trouble, not for nothing. Along the route, we're gonna be stopping at 2 locations where a youth from the community was murdered, just to pay our respect, bring the awareness with the bike life community. And the whole purpose is just to stop to stop the violence. We just lost one of the guys from the bike shop last Saturday to violence. One of the kids that I've been riding with since I popped out in December lost him to gun violence. So it's something that's super important to me. It's super important that, the kids in the community just have some type of hope, I guess you could say. Because we all struggle, we all trying to survive today. Like, I'm not rich, you know what I'm saying? And I go through my shit. And I know what it takes how hard it is when you're in a dark place, when you feel like you have no options, what options now become available. And I just want to be like, there's a little light over here type stuff to get, and like, if I can help one person, that's something, you feel me?
And it's just about also like having the community gives people hope. It's like, oh, I'm not alone. Like, someone cares.
That part.
Like, that's amazing. Why is it important for you to do this? Because a lot of people will just get on their bike, mind their business, do them, go home. Why is it important for you to like incorporate these type of things into what you're doing?
I think that's God in my heart. Like, I care about people. I'm someone that is highly sensitive. I give a fuck. My feelings are hurt very easy, even though my exterior may not show it. And I know what it is to like be hurt. So for someone that's hurting, I want to create a space where they can feel a little relief,
Absolutely. Oh my God, Jilly, this was great. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you for having me.
Yes, of course. I'm excited for later to see everything.
It's going to be beautiful, yes, for sure.
Thank you again. And guys, if you're watching, follow, what's your Instagram?
Miss Jilly Jills, ms.jillygills.
Okay, so follow her. I'm going to be posting you all week while this episode is out. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
What you know about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woke up with a fire burning, desire yearning to rise to a place of higher learning. Apply the work and no question, I deserve it. My mind is certain the moment I step from behind the curtain. So cold when I rep my entire purpose, float over your head like a flying circus. Yo, I never been lying, never been mediocre with the rhymes. Never will see a moment when I'm sleeping on it, cause I keep it potent with the lines. Leave them over to the side, it's be creeping on me on the slide. Still it's a need to know that I ain't keeling over, man, I'm feeling focused all the time. In the music we trust, lit the fuse and I bust. Hits and views, I'm not fussed, brother. Whenever I hit the booth, I go nuts. Bring the food to my plate. I want quick to life 8, so give me my space. I'm fit to dive straight into the fight cage, and now I'm fixing my aim. Man, I got flavors. We know about flavors. I can see straight to the top on the spot, and it's looking real spacious. Like goodness gracious, these man ain't got no flavors. Claim that they're dangerous, but they're all aimless. Me, I got patience, never complacent. When I get up on the beat, I'm in my zone. Crowd up on their feet, I bring them home. Stay busting the heat without the chrome. Look out below, I'm about to blow. Techie with a rhyme and a rhythm. Peppering your guy with a lyric. They ain't stepping to the mic when I'm lyric. Pull the record a second, it's high time for the ever. Yeah, come with a vicious flow. Try cap mine, but I'm too different though. I break them man with a big fat O, and I don't wanna get crossed like tic-tac-toe. I don't play games when I'm in that zone, they get serious. Better sit back, bro, just mad cause we ain't the same. Don't hate the player, G, hate the game. Have you tried changing lanes? No, I think it's time, make you lame. Trust, maybe rhymes ain't your game. On a real one, this is my space to claim. Pull it, something like a vinyl, scratch your frick it, never tire of that ish. Get knocked down in life, you have to, but I just snap back like a chiropractor, I'm set to prevail, I ain't on no mission to fail. You better feel these punchlines like you're reading these lyrics in braille. They can never catch me out. I'm the dog's belongs to catch me out. As per, I can spit just one verse and leave a taste in the back of your mouth. Cause man, I got flavors. What you know about flavors? I can see straight to the top on the spot, and it's looking real spacious. Like goodness gracious, these man ain't got no flavors. Claim that they're dangerous, but they're all aimless. Me, I got patience, never complacent, yeah. Peter Piper went and picked a pepper. When I get to write and know the kid is clever, and I won't retire, do this forever. Yeah, I spit the venom up in different letters. If you never should have picked the pen up on a different level to these silly breaders. Gotta get this cheddar, watch me get this bread up, and I'll do this till I'm the sickest ever. Carry on stirring flavors, late night grind to disturb the neighbors. Vibes I got on the line with narcotics, you can't stop it, now you gotta curb the cravings. First, gotta bring the nurse to savior. Second is a killer with a hearse for later. Gotta write bars in my iPhone notes, cut a pen too fire, it'll burn the paper, goddamn. We know about flavors. I can see straight to the top of the spot, and it's looking real spacious. Like goodness gracious, these man ain't got no flavors. Claim that they're dangerous, but they're all aimless. Me, I got patience, never complacent. Man, I got flavors. Yeah, see, man, I got flavors. Yeah. Woo.